Hello, hello. Welcome to our Thursday live that we do every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm just making sure that everything is set up for you all. So give me just a moment to make sure we're good. I want to make sure I can see everyone. Okay, so if you are commenting or you are watching this live, go ahead and comment live or hello. And then if you're doing the replay, go ahead and let me know that you're watching the replay. But today, what we're talking about is turning virtual wholesaling into your ATM machine. And this is kind of my ultimate guide. I've been doing wholesaling for a very long time. I'm going on 9 years, long enough in my eyes, but not compared to my mother, Laura, who's going on 37 or 38 years. But we will be talking all things. And one thing she says is that wholesaling is her ATM machine. You need to go buy something, do a deal. You need to pay off a big loan that came through or buy a new car, go do a couple of deals. And we did a virtual wholesaling workshop last night that went really, really amazing. And we talked a lot about what I will be talking about today. So if you can comment out that you're on, that would be great. So I know. I just want to make sure I'm seeing things. There we go. Thank you, Jeannie. I just want to make sure it's not that it worked, technology and all that. So let's just kind of talk about what we're going to go through today. But I want you to really get ready to deep dive with me into this because we're going to talk strategies and tips that can transform your wholesaling business. And we're going to cover everything from finding deals to closing them virtually. A little about me for those of you who don't know who I am. I'm Laura's daughter, and I have been wholesaling for 9 years. Now, the one cool thing about what I've done is I have done this completely virtual, meaning that any property that I have sold, I haven't walked through personally for a wholesaling deal. So I've never had to meet with sellers in person. I've never had to meet with my buyers in person to show a property. I've done this completely virtual, and I'll show you how to do that. By the end of the session, though, I would hope that you have a little bit of a clear roadmap and the steps on how to make some consistent profit through wholesaling, even if you're just starting out or maybe you're trying to scale. So while I am going through this, I would love if you could comment some of your takeaways and all of that. And then my team, for the ones that I'm not on, will send me screenshots of any questions or anything you have if it doesn't come through on my end here. Okay. But why virtual wholesaling? Have you ever really thought about running a business from anywhere in the world? Or maybe you're not a traveler, but you just want it from the comforts of your own home. That's what virtual wholesaling lets you do. So it allows you to be able to do this from anywhere in the world. I originally started wholesaling virtually because it was really important for me to be there for everything of my son. His dad and I are divorced. His dad is military, so he is all over the world. And I needed to make sure that I could show up to everything that I could because there was not another parent that could do so. And so something that was really important for me was to be able to be there for him. Another passion of mine is traveling. I know everyone says that, but I genuinely love it. The different cultures, the ability to see different things. And I mean, come on, it's beautiful even if you just get out of Florida where I live. But I wanted to be able to travel and to have a business that I could do that. The other thing that was really important for me was I didn't want to be tied to a 9 to 5. I didn't want to work for somebody else and have them tell me how to lead my own life. If I want to wake up and not feel like working that day, I wanted that power to do so. But also, I choose to work. So I love to work, and it's something I love to do, and it's building my own dreams versus someone else's. And I'm sure this relates to a lot of you or relates to you because you're in the same shoes. When I started out, I had no money, so wholesaling is the option that I chose. I wanted to start and get really good at investing and then take that money and start doing fix and flips and all of that. Now, one of the things about that, though, that I really switched out was it was really important for me to do this in a virtual aspect, be there for my son, but also make sure that I can make money to get myself out of the debt that I was really increasingly putting myself in. I was not in a good place when I started in real estate, and any of you who know my story knows that. And so for me, it was important to get myself out of the spot that I was in. So that's why wholesaling was my ATM machine for a very long time. Now, 9 years later, everyone feels it's crazy that I haven't evolved into other strategies. That is my goal for 2025. But up until this point, I've kind of liked the low risk and low liability of owning homes, especially because the markets seem to be all over the place, right? So that was something that was really important to me. and I wanted to keep that low liability. But now as I get older and my goals have evolved and I have the capital to do so, fix and flips and rentals are now coming into more of my vision than they used to before. So we're going to talk about that. So that's what I love about wholesaling. I have done deals everywhere. I have done deals in Pittsburgh, in Philadelphia, Chicago, Orlando, and South Florida. My main markets, though, that I do like consistent business in is St. Louis and St. Pete and Tampa. Okay. So that's something that's really, really important. Now, keep in mind, I just saw my team remind me, for every comment that you get, you will be entered in our raffle today. Our raffle today is talking. It will have a full training on virtual wholesaling by me and one of my other coaches. It also comes with a guide. So for every comment today on the lives, you will be entered in a raffle that my team will send to me at the end of the live when I'm ready. So there's a little bit of a pause because they have to spin the wheel to get you in. So make sure you're commenting. I forgot to say that. Thank you, team. So this also allows you to tap into other markets. Some of you live in places that it's not realistic to wholesale there. Some it's illegal. Some it's just not possible. Other things like that. So this ability to virtual wholesale anywhere and invest anywhere in the country really helps people with that like love of not having to be there, and they can do it from anywhere in the world. Okay. The other thing is it has a low overhead cost compared to traditional investing. You know, you're not driving places, you use a lot of the internet and tools on there. And so it kind of gives you this ability to start and get things going no matter where you are in the world. I have closed deals in St. Lucia. That was my very first international deal. Japan, Italy, Vancouver, Canada, and then Hawaii. And then I've done deals while I was in Hawaii, while I was in Alaska. So it's very, very cool. And you can do this anywhere. I literally just pick up my phone. I have access to my team. That's what's going off right now. That's why I had to put my phone down, people messaging and stuff, but you can do this anywhere. Now, the key to successful wholesaling is knowing where to look. So let's talk about that. You have to know how to identify very profitable markets. And so we use tools like NAR.realtor, Zillow, to see what's really going on and do what's called a virtual market analysis. So you were able to see what homes are selling, what are being bought right then and there, how fast are they going off the market, are they selling at or below or higher than market pricing, and you can do that. Now, when you get really, really good, hello, when you get really, really good, you will just be able to look at a neighborhood and just know, and then your numbers kind of just confirm it. And so like I could drive through neighborhoods and tell you right then and there that this is a great neighborhood to wholesale. And then we'll go back and we check our numbers. So that's something that you will develop into. But you want to look for properties that are kind of selling at or below asking price. That is good. If it's at or high, that means there's a lot of competition. You're not, you could still be successful, but it's just going to be a little harder for you. So you want to do that. And then you want to find the right properties. How do you find distressed sellers? Because it's not always the property. I've come across properties that are fully fixed up and it's the seller who is distressed, right? So finding those motivated sellers online, and what do you do to do it? Do you pull lists and all of that? So you want to find out what you want to do. So last night during the wholesaling workshop that we did, we told them, what is the difference between quick wins and long nurture? Meaning, what could you go out there and do right now to make money? And they listed so many ways. And what they found was actually that was a long nurture, meaning that those people are not ready to sell right now. And that could be why a lot of you are taking a long time to see success. Now, I'm willing to open up my wholesaling workshop to all of my ladies that want to see the recording of it. All you need to do is comment wholesale workshop, and my team will get that sent to you so you can see what I'm talking about. But what we found when we were talking with the ladies last night is they are being taught that these ways are the quickest ways to riches in real estate, and they're a little bit longer. They're still good ways, but they're a little bit longer. So where do you find people that are ready to sell now? Think about it. MLS. You can wholesale MLS properties. You can co-wholesale with people. For sale by owners. I made a whole list last night. So if you want that replay, you can comment for it. So you have that. Now, here's the thing. You can't do this all alone, and you don't have to. And I want to talk about that with building a team. So you need a virtual team. What do I mean by that? You need people that can run a lot of this business for you. Now, in the very beginning, you're going to do it yourself. You have to do it yourself so you can understand how your business works. People that become the greatest bosses know every aspect of their business because they've done every aspect of their business. They have been there so they can train. One of the best things about both sides of my business, real estate investing as well as the REIW coaching side, was I started from the bottom. So anytime a team member of mine leaves, I can jump in and run it and nothing falls apart because I know all of their jobs. That is something you want to do as well. This is something that's really important. So do the first deal yourself, then start taking some of your profits. Don't go and blow it all. You have to think long term here, okay? You want that long term satisfaction, not the quick, right? So you take that money and you put it back in. So you hire virtual assistants, agents, boots on the ground, people that can be there and do your job and help you with your business. So for example, how do I make this virtual? I hire someone in that area. Now, in the beginning, I found family and friends who were willing to work with me until my deal closed, and then I paid them out of that. Now, if you're working with an agent, sometimes they may want you to pay ahead of time. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry. Someone's at the door and my dog loses it every time. Okay, so we have that and and so you have your virtual team. Now in the beginning I hired my sister, my friends, anyone that would help me on the wholesaling side to be my boots on the ground. So my first deal was done in St. Louis where I grew up, so I had a lot of family and friends that were able to help me be my boots on the ground and do all of that. So you can do that, but if you have nobody in the area that you choose, then you have agents or contractors that can help you, but you do have to pay them. They're more wanting to be paid up front and all of that. So you want to do that. Now, virtual members, you can hire VAs. So you can hire people that are US based or foreign to run a lot of your business from the day to day. So you also get that as well. And so I do that. Now I use tools like Slack for messaging. And then I use a Podio to keep track of all of my leads, Podio. So you have these tools that you can have for effective virtual team management. And what is amazing is none of my assistants are local. All of my assistants live somewhere else. So they all live in different areas. So even them, they get to work virtual. They get to work from anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter. Then you go into marketing and lead generation. So getting the right leads is half the battle, but you want to make sure that your phone is ringing off the hook. So digital marketing strategies really help for this. So you can utilize social media, email campaigns, ads, SEO, anything to attract sellers. I have a very basic landing page that I made myself, and it still brings in leads. It does not have to be this beautiful, fully set up, fully automated landing page. It could be a basic page that you made through your CRM or that you made through your email campaigns that they can go to and fill out the questions that you need. These tools are great for streamlining your marketing efforts so that you're able to move forward and have things running. Now, the last thing is if you want to close deals without ever meeting with a seller, I'm going to show you how, but let's first go through the 10 steps of virtual wholesaling. And let me know if any of this is landing for you because I'm not seeing a ton of comments, but I am seeing a few, so that's good. So let's go through all the deals. The number one is location. You need to choose where you're going to invest first. I was talking about this last night during our wholesaling workshop. If I would have opened up an LLC in Florida first, I would have wasted money because I didn't start in Florida till well after I had started in Missouri where St. Louis is. So once I chose that area, I was able to then open up my business entity, which is step number 2, opening up a business entity. Now, legally, I cannot talk about this. I'm not a CPA, so you have to talk to a professional for tax advice on what kind of business entity to open. But I went ahead and opened up a business entity in Missouri first. And then when I did build my second business in South Florida or in Southwest Florida-ish and Tampa area, then I opened up a Florida LLC. Next is you want to find cash buyers in the area. Not so they can start buying your properties, which is great, but also so that you know what they're buying there. For example, I shared last night, one of my properties I was going for a single family, and I knew this was going to be hard because it was in a neighborhood of multifamily. And it took me so long to close on this because anyone in that neighborhood wanted the multifamily. So what this does is kind of confirm what you need to go after, what type of properties, what are people buying in that area that you have chosen, So then you know who is buying, okay, and what they are buying. And you can also reach out to them and you want to make sure they're paying cash or using hard money, private money financing, okay? Then step number 4 is finding the seller leads. So being able to find the seller leads is something that's incredibly crucial. You want to be able to pull motivated seller leads. And then what you will do is step number 5, go into marketing and calling those sellers. So you go into marketing, you start reaching out. Now here's the thing. 80 to 90% of your deals are going to happen in the follow up, meaning that if you are calling once and you don't ever follow up, or you don't call again, or you don't even try, you are going to burn through a lot of leads and a lot of money in marketing materials, whether it's skip tracing or using dialers or direct mail, because you're wasting your time and not really trying to really make sure that you've tried to reach this person. If you follow up at a certain time, say you will, right? So if you say, I'm going to follow up with you in October, you're going to set a date and time and you're going to follow up with them. This is something that's incredibly crucial where a team member can. Okay. So you go into that. The number 6 is you start entering negotiations and contracts with your seller. So then you get a seller who says yes, and you start going under contract after a negotiated sales price. And you take that contract to the title company and you let the title company hold on to it with your EMD, which is your earnest money deposit. Then you turn around and then you market to your cash buyer. Okay. So what I do is first is I start doing my pictures, my due diligence and all of that. So that's one step. And then you go and start marketing once you have those pictures. Well, Liz, you said get a contract first and I haven't even seen the property. You are going to waste a lot of time waiting for pictures, getting somebody out there, things like that. Talk to the seller. We have a very thorough script that our students use to ask every question they could think of about what could go wrong to come up with an offer. And then you will find out when you get in if the seller was lying, and you can go back and renegotiate. That's why your contingencies on your contract are really important. So you get your pitch, you go out there and do your due diligence, and then you start marketing to your cash buyers. These are cash buyers. Why? Because the normal traditional financing, unless the buyer is willing to pay you separate, does not see you as part of the transaction. So this is something that's incredibly important, that you work with cash buyers or people that are using hard or private money lending, because they do see you as part of the transaction. So you market to your cash buyers. And then number 9 is you go under contract with your buyer. When you go under contract with your buyer, that contract goes to the title company. Your buyer puts their money down, their EMD of at least $5,000 down with your title company. They clear, close, order title, do everything they need to do. And then step number 10 is you go to closing, you cash that check, rinse and repeat. So the average wholesale deal is about $10,000 right now. I've seen less on some deals and I've seen quite a bit more on other deals, but I like to be very conservative with my ladies. And so I'm going to tell you, you can expect about $10,000 per deal. Was that helpful at all? So what will happen now is then you have that already. Some things to consider. You really want to make sure that you handle your paperwork really, really well. And even though you're sending everything through DocHub or DocuSign or HelloSign or whatever you're using for your contracts, that you still call your seller and you work it through with them. Make sure they understand, because if they have any inkling that it just doesn't feel right or they don't understand something, they're most likely going to back out of the deal or bring it to a lawyer that could kill the deal ultimately for you, or want to add in a bunch of fine print and all of that. So you want to be really careful. You want to make sure that you've built a very solid, trust with your sellers and build a relationship. There are too many people out there who treat sellers like they're just a dollar sign and not actually help them. And so that's one thing that I try to change within our community, is to make sure that no matter what, that we value our sellers and we value educating them so that they make the right decisions. Where before I moved over here to Boca, I was living in Fort Myers, and I would hear day after day after day after day of the older generation being taken advantage of by investors that are sharks. And while I understand that they're all trying to do their job, there are morality ways of doing this. And so I really teach and preach that to my students, to do what feels good for you and just make sure that your seller gets taken care of. Now, some of your sellers might be a little delulu and they want a little more than it is possible for you, or a lot more. Those aren't the people you want to work with. But I also don't believe in just completely taking advantage of people just because they don't know better as well. Karma. So we have that. Now, every journey does have its bumps. So with you want to make sure, and I was going to go here, is you have the right mindset, because a lot of obstacles can turn into opportunities. There was this post that Laura did because a student, she wanted to back out of a deal. And Laura was like, are you backing it out because this is truly not a good deal, or you're just scared? And I can't tell you how many ladies will back out of a deal because they're fearful of it, fearful of going through with it, versus that it's actually a bad deal. And so that's where the coaching comes in, to make sure that we're like, no, this is actually a really good deal. This is all you have to do. And we've saved hundreds of deals because of that, and making sure that people understand that. So having a really good mindset will really help you, because you are doing this virtually. This is a new business. This isn't a hobby. Okay. This is a business, and you want to do it right. You have people's homes, a lot of money going through you and your bank account and the title companies. And so you want to take care of that. And for our students, that's something that we really focus on, is that the consistency matters here, and to stay resilient. Because one of the things, I was interviewed last year on a podcast, or it might have been earlier this year, I don't know. And he asked, what's one thing you would say to describe yourself in one word? And I said, I'm relentless. I was like, if I want something, I'm going to get it. It doesn't matter what it is. And that's how I was with wholesaling. I was relentless. When I made up my mind that it was time to do this, nothing could stop me. When I wanted to bring it virtual, and it took 3 years to really feel like I had a fully automated system that now I can teach in like 10 minutes. It took me 3 years of blood, sweat, and tears, but I was like, I want to do this virtual. And even if that takes me longer to get to that way, it was what worked for me, to be able to not have to be there. So I know if some of you are wondering if this will work for you. And what I want to say is that this does work for everyone. When Laura came over and started doing wholesaling, because she's from Italy, her accent was a lot stronger than it is now. And she only, she knew very basic English, and she was able to make this work. Some of the most successful people, what makes them successful is they don't give into the excuses of age, race, accents, know-how, or anything. There are people that are less qualified than you who are more successful because they just went and did it, and they didn't give into all the reasons of why this wouldn't work. So that's something that I wanted to relay. This works for everyone. This is something that you can do no matter your background. This is something you can do no matter your credit, no matter how much money you make or don't make, right? Wholesaling, that's why it is so appealing. But also, you have to remember that you are an investor, and you have to take the necessary precautions to make sure you run your business right. Because the reason all of these laws are coming into effect with wholesaling is because people have abused it, and they are greedy, and they don't take care of people. They just run through these people. And that's why there are so many regulations coming around wholesaling, which is a good thing for those of us, because let's be real, the ones that actually are here to stay, and the ones that show up and do this no matter what, we're going to stay in for the long haul, regardless of all the regulations coming in, because we're not doing anything wrong, right? You'll see people come in and out of this business, but the people that genuinely are doing the right thing, they stay in for the long term. Like Laura, who's been in for 37, 38, 39, I don't even know where she's at right now, years, right? She's always done it the right way. And regardless of recessions and everything, she's reinvented herself. So what I want you to do is imagine a constant stream of income flowing. And this comes from virtual investing, virtual wholesaling. And this is very much something that could be your reality. Okay. So speaking of that though, team, go ahead and run the raffle while I do this. We have an upcoming retreat. It's coming up here in September. It's 3 days. Technically, it's like 2.5. It's a Friday night through Sunday where you can come and spend time with me, Laura, and my other coaches. Now, what is cool about this retreat is it's worth every penny. I have people flying from all over, even from the Netherlands. Okay, so I have people flying from all over to come and see us. But what this is all of my coaches are investors turned coaches. Okay, so even Laura and myself, but all of my coaches were either students of mine or they were investors turned coaches. Okay. And so what here is that we all actively invest, and we are going to be there to hands-on sit at tables with you, work on your business. I know someone asked, will I be able to actually like sit with a coach and talk to them? Yes, we are going to have coaches there. Pull us aside. We are going to be there. Now the price goes up every 2 weeks. So I think the price goes up here in the next few days. It goes up every 2 weeks leading up to the retreat. So right now is the cheapest time you're ever going to get the retreat tickets, because once they go up, we're not going to go back. Okay. So I want to make that very clear, and I would love to see you. It's in Fort Lauderdale. I'm pulling up the retreat now, or the raffle now, but it's in Fort Lauderdale. I would love to see you. We do have group rates that are available for only a couple more weeks, and then they have to, the hotel makes you block it off. So I would love for you to come and spend a weekend with us. I have so many fun things planned. We give out really fun raffles. All the coaches bring raffles. But if you're really serious about making this the time to be in real estate, then you want to come to this retreat. I mean, we have tickets starting at $197 all the way up to $697 if you want to come into the field. That one is almost sold out. Our elite ticket is almost sold out. I think we're 75% of the way. It's always the first to go because we take you in the field and you have VIP dinner with the coaches. So that one always sells out pretty quickly. So if you want to, now is the time to come to the retreat. Team, if you could put the link into the chat, that would be fantastic so that we can make sure that you guys get to come and join us because it's fun. I genuinely love the retreats. It's my favorite part. I get to meet with students. I get to hang out with them. I get to see all the ladies that I talk to on social media and all of that. So if you are interested in coming to the retreat, my team is going to put it in the chat, but you can also just comment retreat and we will reach out to you and talk to you as well because I genuinely love it. It's my favorite part. And I love watching the students and the attendees get these massive aha moments. And I've had so many people leave the retreat with all those missing pieces that people leave out when they coach and then go and see great success in real estate. So it's a lot of fun. So my team will get that in there. So right now, what we are going to do is go into the raffle. My team sent me over the winner. Let me see if I could get this to look right. That's about as good as we're going to get. Okay. So what this raffle is we are giving out our wholesaling one-on-one training video. It will train you on all things wholesaling. And you also get a PDF to kind of keep track of your notes and all of that. So our winner had to be on and commenting live. And so that winner, you have 1 week to email in and be able to claim it at questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com. When I go live next week, you are no longer able to claim, but this will give you all the ins and outs of wholesaling and making it your ATM machine. And I kind of wanted to do that. It's way more detailed than I went in today. So our winner is Lori Ciccone. Anyway, Lori, that's you. So you're able to email in and be able to claim that at questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com. So congratulations, you are the winner. All right, so now I'm going to go into some questions about what I covered. How does the title company get paid? It really depends on the title company. Some will do what's called a pass-through policy, which means that they get paid through seller and buyers and stuff like that. Some you do have to pay a little bit, right? So you want to work with title companies that will work with you as an investor using either the end buyers funds or maybe a mix between end buyers and the sellers, all right? So that's something that's incredibly crucial to share as well. Any other questions? Was this good information? I would love to know your takeaways. Let's see. And then team, let me know on the other ones because it's only showing me right now YouTube. I'm not seeing anyone else's. So YouTubers, unite. I see yours. All right. Well, then I'll go ahead and get off. But if I see him, I could come back to the chat and answer him. I do hope to see you at our retreat that's coming up here in just a few weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have ladies from everywhere. And it's really nice to have a community. There's nothing like being in person. There's nothing like it. Zoom cannot emulate it. And as much as I love Zoom and be able to host these from anywhere, and Laura did our Zoom last night from New York City, it's not the same as being in person. You get to ask questions live. The energy of being in the room with a lot of women that are like you, just wanting to build their future or being able to talk to the ones who have, right, is always really powerful. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me know what you think, and thank you, Jean.